Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Jackson Grand Live. We had a little bit of a technical issue going on here, so I'm so sorry about that. So, welcome back. I am June, recruitment consultant from Jackson Grand. Also, today we are with Alex, director of recruitment operation today.
Hi,
Welcome, Alex.
afternoon everybody.
Yeah. So today the topic is all about AI for sure. So because now is the my blowing era of AI, so we cannot miss the topic, right? And the topic today we will cover how has AI changed the way you work so far in recruitment industry, especially and we will explore how automation and AI technologies are reshaping job roles, creating a new opportunity, also impact the workforce. And last but not least, we gather some list of AI tools, not only ChatGPT for sure, but we try to gather all the AI lists that could be useful for your work as well. So yeah, let's get started. But by the way, how is it going, Alex?
Yeah, all good. I mean, this weekend my wife decided to do renovations on my house. So my house is like a building site at the moment. So work has been pretty stressful the last couple of weeks, and now I've got a dog that likes to dig in the sand, so there's sand everywhere in my house. How about you? How's your weekend?
Yeah, basically last week was my birthday, so it's the week of celebration. I can tell because I have some celebrate from like people in our team, also and my like my neighbor, my friend from school, and it has been a very nice week. I got the present I love most is I got from Good Cookie, the admin in the back. Thank you so much. It's a little astrology charm.
Not
It's like
little, it's massive.
it's a big box of astrology charm and cards. And I really love it because at the moment I'm learning astrology for the moment. It's something that very I find it's very interesting. Yeah, if you interest for some reading, Alex, just let me know.
Yeah, you already gave me a reading. We need another one.
Okay, so back to the topic, and we will just need your opinion here, Alex. Like, and how has AI changed the way we work,
Yep.
Especially in the recruitment industry?
Okay, so before I kick that off, I'd say everybody who's joining, please feel free to write questions and comments in the boxes below, and we'll get to that towards the end.
Yeah.
Okay, so to kick things off, first and foremost, I would say, for me, recruitment, you'll hear me say it a lot, is a people-facing business.
Mhm.
But AI has really helped us to, let's say, minimize the administration that we need to do.
Mhm.
So if we break that down, I think the first thing I would start with is research. I remember, when I first came into recruitment, being given a list of 150 companies and say, can we work with those people?
Mhm.
Research this company, find out who their competitors are, blah, blah, blah. And it was hard. You'd have to read through, chamber books, you'd have to search on Google. A lot of the information you'd find would be from a global perspective. And now we can use ChatGPT, we can get lists of companies, we can get competitors, we can find out financial revenue information, we can find out number of staff, and that helps us when we go to discuss with clients because we know a lot more about their business than what we previously knew. Also, for let's say a junior recruitment consultant, it gives them time to do their research before they actually have to speak to a client, and they can start to do prep in behind as well. How about for you? How do you like to use it?
Basically, I like to use them for job description, for example. I think for now, like we have been like overwhelming like by the work. We need to get on the call all the time. So I think this could be the point that we can reduce our time at work. And job description is like something that it can be generic if you want it to be generic.
Yeah.
But in ChatGPT, for example, you can design your job description. For example, you can put the expertise or the certain skill set you are looking for in a candidate. So if you are prompt the program to be specific in what you want, they can do it as well. So that's what I can recommend in terms of like using it, using AI to create your job description. But you need to be in details about it a little bit about how you want it to become, basically.
Yeah, I mean, to give a little bit more insight on that, I would say if you have some key criteria, you can actually write it into the ChatGPT, like I want to emphasize this in the job description. But what happens is when it spits out the first, let's say, iteration of the job description, you can then prompt the AI to then improve it. So, for example, you might say, can you please rewrite this job description, but in the third person, not the first person? Can you please limit the word count from 500 words to 350 words? So there's lots of little tricks that you can do, and that helps a lot. But I would say if you just say, can you write me a job description for HR manager, it's just going to be generic.
Yeah.
And actually, I don't think that's going to appeal to a lot of candidates when they're looking for a job as well.
Yeah.
What else do you use it for when you're working?
Basically, we use it for candidates, executive summaries,
Mhm.
so or client brief. So because at this point, we need to make the resume, like to make a conclusion of the resume and their experience, right? So I think this can be a really, really helpful tool to help you gather all around and pick only key points from that resume, because some of them they have like 30 pages of resume, and it's possible. So we try to make it in brief. However, the best way to use it is just you are the one who interviewed the candidate, right? So the motivation behind, the feeling about their job and how and why they want to change the job. This is the key point that you can put by yourself, additionally,
Yeah.
to make the brief more what can I say, appeal, and
Yeah.
make it not too robotic, because you are the one who take the part of the motivation and emotion behind their resume.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think I try to always look at it from the perspective of the client. What will the client think when they receive this information?
Yeah.
And if you use AI to write the briefs for 3-4 candidates, pretty much it'll be the same.
Yeah.
And there's no sort of differentiation. So you really need to focus on the motivations, on your consultant opinion. Why should your client hire this person? What are the red flags that maybe they need to look for in the interview? And I think AI is not able to do that yet.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, if we have to write the whole thing, then put that in, it can be very time consuming.
Yeah.
I think also it can help earlier on in the process when you're doing screening questions. And it can also help you with interview questions as well. So you can say, these are the things that I need to assess. Give me some questions that will help me assess the candidate, and ChatGPT will do it. But again, I think the big sort of, let's say, danger point is it lies.
Yeah.
So I'll give you an example. We were trialing it, and Richard, our managing director, was using it. And he used it, and he said, "Oh wow, this is fantastic! This brief that it's given me is fantastic." And then it said, "XX candidate speaks fluent English and Thai." And then he asked me, well, "How does it know that he can speak Thai?" It doesn't. It lied.
Yeah.
So then I said, I put a prompt in saying, "How do you know the candidate speaks Thai?" He said, "I am just a language algorithm model." Yeah. So you've got to be careful.
Yeah.
With what you use, so double check everything and make sure you do use your own language and tone as well.
Yeah, I agree, because I think the tone of the message that ChatGPT generate for us, it can sound robotic sometimes, So we as a human need to humanize it a little bit.
Yeah.
To make them feel like this is our work, and we really careful about the information you pass it through the client.
Yeah. Exactly. There's one last thing as well that we can use it for. This is not so much for experienced consultants, but if you're a junior person, whether that be in recruitment, in HR, talent acquisition, you can also use ChatGPT for scenario training. So you can put in, for example, I'm going to have a business development call with this client. The client is going to be a little bit angry because I'm bothering them. Let's do a role play, and it can do actually role plays, and then you can actually simulate according to the temperature. So you can actually say like temperature 0, temperature 1, temperature 2, and it will make it more difficult. So if you're junior, you can really get some good experience from practicing.
So I think because I think the key of like the experience we are facing, it's just temperature from from the conversation we have, and we learn to deal with the like the momentum of the conversation.
Yeah, sure.
So the next one, explore how automation and AI technologies are shaping job roles, creating new opportunity, and impacting the workforce through the debates. Okay, so for sure, like in everything, we have pros and cons. So here we try to make a discussion between me and Alex, and to discuss about how you see AI at work.
Yeah.
So I will be the one who anti AI. I'm sorry, and Alex will take part of pro AI part.
Okay.
So we can we can discuss and exchange the information and how. What is your opinion regarding AI at work? Okay, so for me, how can you confirm that your skill are still in need? In terms like in the age of AI, where everybody's kind of like scared that they will take your job, you will be replaced by AI. So here I would like to share a photo I found on that went viral a lot on internet. So the photos say, "Hey, ChatGPT, finish this building," and your skill are replaceable. Well, so this photo, I feels like it's like showing like a part of our society at the moment that we kind of like scare of how AI gonna take our place. But however, there's still some part of the business or industry that cannot make it without human basically. So this is like how I want to share the information from my part, that I just still feels like AI still lacking some part, that what can I say, like, they still cannot do something that we can do, for example like emotional intelligence. I think they still because what makes us different from AI is like we have emotion, we are human. That's key thing that makes it different from robot, right?
But my job is to be pro AI, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to say on this topic that you can get AI to act in an emotional manner.
Mhm.
So you could say act as somebody who's upset, act as somebody that is angry, act as somebody that is very professional,
Mhm.
and the AI can simulate emotional intelligence.
Mhm.
But it's not human, right? So
Yeah.
there's a limit to what it can do.
So also I think it's also like from what you just say, I feels like also the culture and the feeling background. For example, like Alex, you have the experience. Like you have a pet like a dog.
Mhm.
So and I am a pet owner as well. And when we exchange the the stories and the background of ourself, that like that we have the story, the history like behind it. So when we exchange, it's like culture,
Yep.
history, and everything is in you. So that's I think what AI still cannot take part of it yet.
Unless it lies.
Yeah, yeah, but you wanna.
No, but no, I totally agree with you. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be playing the pro AI, so I would say if you think about it from like a worker perspective
Mm.
and a company perspective, the companies care about having that genuine connection. I mean, some will, some might not, and if they can simulate it, maybe they will.
Okay, so next is creativity. So I think the creativity that the human give, because we discussed previously about how AI create things. AI will create things based on what is already existing that human made. So basically, they would just mix and match the information that we already have.
Yep.
So that's why I still feel like the information that we are looking for right now, like I mean the AI made, is still like mixing what already existing. What do you think about that, Alex?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, what I would say is that in the history of the internet, there's been a lot of creativity, So if you're comparing one person versus the internet, then the internet's going to win.
Yeah.
However, like for example, if you were to say, ChatGPT, create me a new superhero, it's probably going to be a creation from a bit of Batman, a bit of Superman, a bit of Spider-Man. It's not going to be totally original. Whereas, if you somebody that is a creative person and you come up with something, then it can be a lot more long-lasting. So I think AI can do it, but it's superficial, and it's going to be many, many years before it really is taking over creativity. I've got a friend in England, and he's an artist, and he uses digital AI, and he goes viral all the time with like Joe Biden as an athlete, Morgan Freeman on holiday. What would superheroes look like if they were fat, using AI? And it's super creative, but it's different.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense to me. So, but about like the critical thinking, I would just put them all together since I see them kind of like connect. Critical thinking, judgment, and decision making. So I feel like for this point, what AI still miss is the, what can I say, like the emotion behind the message. For sure that I believe that AI can do like, can be even better than human in terms of like data analytics.
Yeah.
But when to make a decision making, to do the decision, what can I say? Sorry, to do the judgment, you need to do it like in every aspect, including emotion. For example, in our industry, we are making decision based on maybe like your family members, about what can I say, like how far you live from your home is something that it's like it requires some human connection, like that we have to be able to make the decision. So I think at this point, I still find AI still lack of, what can I say, like what can I say, like understanding in terms of like all the aspect of our life to make a decision.
I think it's sensitivity as well. And I'll play from the pro side. If somebody's looking for a job, we could completely automate this. We could make decisions based on skills and experience. We could also give them specific questions that are AI generated, and if they answer those questions correctly, then they move to the next stage. It's quite scary that there are actual products now in recruitment that can, you speak to a robot at point A and you don't actually speak to a consultant at all.
Yeah.
That's going to be the future, but this is more like for people that aren't going to upskill. So can it critically think? Yes. Can it make a good judgment? Probably. But in Thailand particularly, we're looking at a population where maybe 1-2% are unemployed, and our clients want the best candidates. So there's a lot of work that goes into that, and AI, I don't know will that ever be able to do that.
Okay, so I think it comes to my last point. I will put them together, like time management and negotiation. I still feels like the negotiation for sure, like as a sell person, I mean like recruitment is kind of sell in some way, right? So when we talk to the client, we talk to the candidates, the when we can negotiate is like we see the body language.
Yep.
We see the pain point. We see how they react to the information. So this is why I still feels like AI still cannot like replace us in terms of negotiation, because this is how, like when we talk, for example, like Alex, I see you, I see like like when you talk about this topic, you seem to be sensitive on that. So this is what I can do the twist to make you change your mind a little bit. So I think this is the body language, also the the culture. I mean like the something that lost in translation. How can I say it? Something between in between the line.
Yeah, it's the variables that you can't see.
Yeah.
If I was to say my point, I would say pro AI. Let's say from a junior perspective, we can use AI to simulate conversations. We can use AI to send terms of business. We can use AI to say, no, we're not accepting those terms, we want this. But ultimately, if we want a real partnership and a real relationship, it requires people. So as you're saying, like pain points and being able to assess needs and being able to see the body language, AI can't do it.
Yeah.
And ultimately, particularly in sales, and this goes across all of sales, not just recruitment, people buy from people they like. So, personality, empathy, warmth, humor. If we, let's say our clients that we work with is using AI to assess our terms of business, it would just be very robotic.
Yeah.
And it would take out a lot of the fun and enjoyment of the work, I think.
You sounds like you're not pro AI at all.
I'm supposed to be pro AI, but I'd say, there's lots. Let's say if I was a heartless person, we can use AI to do a lot of menial tasks. But we're in a people business, and if we want people to change their careers and change their lives, we need to speak to these people. We can't rely on AI.
Yeah, understandable. So here is the discussion we have. So
I think you won.
So thank you, Alex. I think at this point, we are not here just to say like AI is bad guy, or human is still like win the market anyway. Because we need to. The point of this life is to find a balance between AI and human. How can we live with them? How can we work with them? And
the key is to embrace it, right?
Yeah.
Because if we reject AI and we don't use it at all, then it will take over.
Yeah.
But if we embrace it and we utilize it effectively, then it can enhance our jobs. And I think for those people that always want to develop and move forward in their careers, AI will never impact them like they think it will. But for people who are quote unquote lazy, or just do a 9 to 5 and want to go home at the end of the day, they're the people that will be in danger of actually being replaced by AI. There's some studies that say that 30 years ago you graduated from university, you move into a job, and that is your skill set for life. Now they're saying the skills that you learn in school and university will last 3-4 years, and then you need to upskill. So the AI is not here to take over, but it can take over in many aspects.
So I think it's how you learn to live with them and to understand them. And we talked a little bit before about prompt. So basically AI is just program. You are the master. You you if you know how to prompt it, how to make it work for you, I think they can be the best tool for real. But it's just how you you balance how to use them at work. I think that's the point that we want to raise for the topic today. Okay, so last but not least, other AI tools. So Alex, do you have any tools that you have been browsing around to, and do you have any suggestion that if beside the ChatGPT for sure that we know that this is like the most famous for the moment, but if you have any recommendation in terms of tools, just let them know.
Okay, so since ChatGPT went viral, I mean, there's been over 100 new AI tools. So I've picked out 9 that I think will help people. So I think Cook will help with this part as well. So the first is Bard, which companies, I've got to the first round interview with this one. It can really help you track. Okay, next one is Otter AI, which is great for people who attend meetings and have to take meeting notes. Basically, you don't have to write anything. You install Otter AI and it will do it for you, which is pretty cool. The next one, which I think a lot of people won't know about but will change the way they work, is a YouTube summary with ChatGPT. So this is a Chrome plugin extension, and you can use this to basically copy in YouTube links, and it will give you the summary of what the video is about. So particularly if you like to watch business podcasts, and sometimes they're 3-4 hours long, this can really help you. And then the rest that we have are a little bit more like plugins. So we've got a ChatGPT Prompt Genius. So this one is a plugin, again, that's available on Chrome. And this one it takes a little bit of learning. You have to do a bit of a tutorial, but you can save prompts that stick into ChatGPT. So that's quite cool. Another one is Compose AI, which is an email writer, which basically matches your tone of voice. So if you publish several emails into this AI tool, it will then start to be able to write like you do, which is quite scary.
Scary, yeah.
Okay, and the last one is Perplexity AI, which is another alternative to Bard and ChatGPT. Again, it's got a nice sort of UI, and yeah, it's another tool that you can use. So there's 9 of the best sort of AI tools that I would recommend.
I saw it on Facebook. I think probably at the beginning of the exposure of ChatGPT, the Thai people, they sell the course of how to prompt ChatGPT. So,
it's actually one of the most in the US. Basically, a prompter is now one of the jobs available.
Yeah.
If you're an expert prompter, you can get a job in a tech company.
Yeah, because I think they just try to find a way to reduce the hours of work, and and to make. I mean, we can bring the best out of AI for sure, but we need to know how to prompt it properly.
Yeah.
So I think that's how we kind of like learn to live with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think we cover all the topic today, Alex. Pico, is there any question coming up during this time? Okay. What is the scary thing of having AI in recruitment business?
Okay, good question, Kundarika. I would probably say the scariest thing about it is the fact that in the future we might not need to speak to people.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things that a lot of companies get criticized on is bias. So, we talk about equity, diversity, inclusion, and sometimes companies make wrong decisions based upon this. So AI can remove bias, which is good, but I don't want to live in a world where a candidate can apply at point A and a client can accept them at point Z, and they've never even spoken.
Yeah.
For me, that is terrifying.
Yeah.
In recruitment. How about for you, June? What do you think?
I agree. Because having AI in recruitment business, I think the terrified part is just like just like you say, everything is robotic, and we are in a human business. So that's why I think we will what can I say, how can we not being replaced by them? It's just not let them do.
Yeah.
So don't let them take a part in terms of something that you can do it as a human, talk in person conversation, because you can see their body language. You can get to know them as a person.
Yeah.
You get to know if you have the same chemistry, and that's how you actually work together. So this is the relationship at work that I don't want AI to take the part for the whole thing, because it's very, very important to have a good relationship with your colleagues without doing it through
and
AI.
clients as well, because if we automate everything that we do, how can we then say to our clients, these are the best candidates?
Yeah.
These are the best candidates because a computer algorithm told us so.
Yeah.
Well, then they just buy a computer algorithm and we get replaced.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the scary one. Any other questions, Cook?
Yes. Nelson, can I use AI tools to help build my CV or profile?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Definitely, but
Yeah.
but the key thing is to customize the profile, or otherwise you will look like another candidate.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if I give a tip on this one, I would say you can, but it's good for you to have a format of that you want.
Mhm.
If you use ChatGPT, it's not going to format it for you. It's just going to give you information.
Mhm.
But one of the biggest mistakes I think people make on their resumes is they try to create too good a design experience,
Mhm.
and actually your resume should be clean, easy to read, and give it shouldn't sound like a job description.
Yeah.
And I think ChatGPT or AI will make it sound like a job description.
Yeah,
You want to be going for personal achievements and why you stand out from the crowd.
Okay. Any other question? Laksanapan, okay. Do you think AI will take over localization tasks in the game industry in the near future?
Okay, so Grain knows I'm a big gamer, so that's why. Actually, Grain, we were talking about this a couple of days ago, and what we were saying is there was a topic of conversation. I think it was the head of Xbox or head of PlayStation, and he said AI will never replace localization game development ever, because the person that creates the game is the one that creates the story, and that's what's great. But what AI can do now is make procedural generated levels and enemy placement and make it change each time. So I don't think it will take over, but games that do player to player, player versus environment, those type of games, the AI will surely have more of an input. But I think for the best experiences as a gamer, no. It still needs that creativity, that originality, and again, AI is not going to do that.
Not anytime soon.
Not anytime soon. I've just realised we're out of time. So June, what's coming up next time?
It's a topic that I'm very, very invested in. So we're gonna talk about Gen Gap at
Mhm.
work, because I'm pretty sure that in like most of the company we have people from different generations, and also in our company as well. But here I would like to talk about how can we bridge the gap, and how can we make it work together. And we also next time we're gonna have a guest to talk about Gen Gap at work as well. So
Who's the guest? They'll be keeping it a secret.
it's not very secret, but it's people from Jackson Grant team. But we'll see. And I will in this podcast, not podcast, LinkedIn Live. We gonna show you how the Gen Gap play a part in at workplace, and also how we deal with them.
Deal with them. Okay.
Deal with it. Okay, so thank you so much everybody for your time today, and thank you so much for the question we have. It's very, very helpful, and today we gotta go.
Yeah, and if you've got any other questions, put it in the comments below, and we'll try to address them later on. Thank you, everybody, and see you again in, I think it's 3 weeks, not 2 weeks.
Yeah, unfortunately, but
Yeah.
looking forward to see you guys again.
Okay, thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Have a good day.